All right, and welcome back. I am cooking again, cooking my favorite dish, which is basically pork mince and tomato. Now, I'm just gonna. I've kind of kept this video quite normal in terms of the speed. Just wanted to go through it slowly, and I really am going to show you more about how I'm kind of processing the vegetables today, rather than just kind of putting everything in. So anyway, so as you can see, I've just crushed the garlic off camera and just basically peeling them. I think really this is the easiest and best way for me, and I don't mind large garlic bits. I actually quite enjoy the taste, but of course, if you wanted to chop it up and kind of refine it a bit, I think there's no issue in that. But really, for this particular dish, there's no real need to basically chop up the garlic. You can, and you'll see later on how I kind of mix it all up together in the end when everything's in the pot. But anyway, I'm putting that aside for now. So here are some spring onions, and again, what I love about shopping at my wet market is that they always give me free spring onions. It's kind of like a little gift to kind of say, hey, come back to us, come back to that particular shopkeeper, vendor. So yeah, she's great. Actually, I call her my vegetable lady. Anyway, so right now I'm kind of chopping it up, and again, I've just used pretty much this whole bunch. I think one would call this bunch of spring onions. One, I want to get rid of it because I do get a lot of it, and I don't want it to go off. But at the same time, I love the taste, and I think it adds a great flavor and taste to the actual dish itself. Okay, so I've chopped the spring onions, and they're just kind of showing and saying, hey, that's what it looks like chopped in my little bowl. And now I am chopping the tomatoes. Now, I just bought these tomatoes today, really nice and juicy, nice and fresh tomatoes. And I'm cutting it in this particular way just because I think it's easier to break up. Now, what I wouldn't do if you're cooking this dish is to put the whole, just kind of chop them up into like halves or something. You do want to break it down so that it's easier for the tomato itself to actually get absorbed and eventually kind of become the juice of this particular dish, of course mixed in with all the other juices of the pork, and of course the steam or the water. So this is so that's my tomato. Now I now looking for a place to kind of keep these, and then I'm going to cut one more. So it's around three. Now you can do four, you can do five. I mean, depends of course on the size of the tomato, how many you want to put in, and I think there's no real limit to how many you should put in. It's completely up to you, and how much you can actually fit in your pot. So my pot's not that big, the one I'm using. I've got bigger ones, of course, but for this particular thing, I just wanted to make it quick. So I just used three tomatoes. Okay, so now I'm cutting the broccoli, and as you can see, I'm cutting in a particular way that helps it. It basically, one thing I found, if you're cutting it from the other way, a lot of bits and pieces get chopped. So this is a secret or a hack, not really a secret, that I learned how to cut the broccoli. And technically, you could just pull it apart. No need to cut it, and you're going to save a lot of that kind of residual broccoli getting wasted. All right. Now, as you can also see, I'm going to, in a second, cut the stem as well. And also, as you can see in a second, I actually do keep the leaves. I think broccoli leaves are underrated. They're one of the most nutrition-dense vegetables out there. I actually wish I could find, and I used to grow them myself in my little garden outside my balcony, but it's obviously not seasoned. But yeah, broccoli leaves really, really healthy for you. All right, so I've cut the stem as well, as you just saw. Again, I'm using every part of the broccoli. Don't waste. It's all good for you. It's all vegetables. Obviously, as long as you clean and wash them, you're all good. Don't waste anything. So I put the pot back in. And what I'm going to put in next is I'm going to actually put in a particular oil. Okay, so this oil, as you can see, it's actually duck fat. So I cooked a duck in the oven, and there was a lot of fat left in that the basin or the pan that I cooked it in, and I kept obviously that fat. Now, obviously, it's full of flavor, really tasty, and why not, right? So I saved that, and now I'm using it, and I've used it for my eggs this morning, and so I thought I might just finish it off. So that's actually duck fat in there. So the next step I'm going to put in, and I've kind of just mixed it up. Now, technically, you could put the garlic in first, but because I put the garlic at the bottom of the spring onions, I just put it all together. It doesn't really make a difference. Again, my style of cooking is, pretty cash, as you can see. Just easygoing, no brainers. Anyway, put it in there. So here is the process where I actually start to mix everything up, or try to chop those garlic in the pan, in the heat, with the spring onions, trying to mix it all up. So as you can see, I am kind of chomping at it, trying to crush the already crushed garlic and to make it into smaller bits in the pan, in my duck fat, or with my spring onions. Right, so that's basically my style of cooking. Again, each to his own. You can obviously pre-chop them up or whatever. But I think it's best definitely to get them into smaller chunks. What you're not going to do, obviously, is put just 3 cloves of garlic into that dish. Anyway, so just kind of cooking that up, and I believe the heat is around 7. I don't know how many degrees that is, but yeah, just number 7, and you can already see the pan is quite hot. So the next step, after I've kind of enjoying crushing these little garlic bits and sauteing this garlic, is I'm gonna put in the protein. Okay, which of course today I just bought it again. It's a good discount at the market, at my favorite discount supermarket, and it's minced pork, as you're going to see in a second. So the minced pork, there it is, already minced, and it is the black pig. Okay, the black pig minced pork, so a slightly higher quality pork mince. All right, so as you can see, it's all in there, so I'm going to kind of break that up as well, kind of get it all mixed in with the juices, with the spring onions and the garlic and the duck fat, get it all in there. So put a bit of salt in now, a little bit of seasoning, salt, and some black pepper, some ground black pepper. In it goes. There it is. And give that. Oh, yeah, so this is the olive oil. It's actually almost finished. So I realized when I poured it in, it's almost finished. There's probably a little bit left, and I think I'm going to try to get a few more drops. Here's a little bit more olive oil that I have on the side. And I'm going to give that a nice stir. So you obviously want to keep stirring so that it all cooks rather evenly, and more importantly, because it is pork, you want to make sure you cook that really, really well. Right, so again, the heat is still at 7, and I am now also at the same time, of course, mixing that seasoning in, just trying to get it all balanced, get it all in there, but most importantly, getting all those bigger chunks and getting that all cooked. But now it's going to cook anyway later, because we're going to simmer that pot. Here I go, trying to just get the last drops of this Spanish olive oil from our family bodega in Toledo, in Mentrida. So it's quite special. Now, we've had it for a few years, so I think it's about time it's all used. So no issue with that. And then we'll just have to go back to Spain and get some more, bring some more over. So anyway, so chopping that up, getting those big bits of pork mince and trying to break that down, as you can see. And I'm going to mix that up. Okay, so obviously this dish is really simple, as you can see for yourself. Not too complicated, quite fast once you've prepped all the ingredients, and to be honest, not that much. Look, I could have put some onions, some white onion or whatever onions you've got besides the spring onions, but some actual onion. But I didn't have any, and it's not necessary, but you could as well, of course. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my broccoli bulbs or broccoli pieces, and I'm going to whack it in. And now as I'm putting it in, I'm realizing it's actually quite full already. So I'm thinking already, can I actually fit the tomatoes? But I am going to fit it in, as you'll see in a second. So, but the broccoli's there, it's all in there. And again, I'm not concerned, because as it gets soft and as the it cooks underneath, it's going to get more space. And then now I'm going to put in the tomatoes. There it is, those nice, juicy, red, fresh tomatoes that are very, very good for you. So originally there wasn't any broccoli in this recipe, and I put the broccoli in as just as a modification to add the level of goodness and nutrients, especially for myself and the diet I'm trying to maintain. So keeping all those greens in there, and of course broccoli is a fantastic nutrient-dense vegetable. So that's it. So now I've kind of time-lapsed this, or I kind of turned off the camera and now it's back on again. So you can see everything's starting to get soft and starting to get cooked, and kind of mix that around. Now I'm putting in the special ingredient which I love, which is fish sauce or patis. That's it, putting a lot of that in there. Again, it's not good for you really, but it's great flavors. Just don't put too much. I don't think that was too much, actually. Usually I probably even have this as a condiment on its side with some chili, fresh chili. But anyway, and here I've put in some oyster sauce with, I think this oyster sauce particular brand is like 0 carbs or something. It's got a big 0 on it. Anyway, so mixing all that. So that's really it. So salt, pepper, fish sauce, and oyster sauce, and just mixing that all up. And then you're basically letting it cook itself in a way, once I close that lid, and just letting the steam cook the rest of that meat off. So there it is. And then again, I think, boom, we've kind of jumped a little bit, and there it is. Okay, there's a lot of steam, so just kind of moving that steam away. There it is, boiling, delicious, golden, juicy tomato, broccoli, and minced pork. There isn't really a name for this, but I should name it. No particular name. Yep, it's all ready, as you can see with my hand signals. So I've turned off the oven, and I'm going to next scoop it in my plate, ready to consume. So there it is, getting a nice big chunk of broccoli, and of course the mince with the tomatoes. And again, tomatoes is really, really good for men. I'll keep saying that. Something to do with the lycopene. So there's a particular ingredient in the tomatoes called the lycopene, and it's very good for the prostate. So there it is.